It was February 3rd, 2018, and the Edmonton area of Canada had just had a massive snowstorm. The roads were treacherous for days. I was supposed to be going to see my husband up where he worked, 4 hours away with our little girl Marley. Roads were terrible. But Mike was a manager of a trucking company, and he wasn't worried. He was an expert at assessing roads, and he was an expert at assessing my driving capabilities. Now, at that time, I had three beautiful girls. I was an entrepreneur of 15 years, and I had a 3 month waiting list. That day, I did not make it to see my husband. Instead, an oncoming vehicle came into our lane and hit us at head-on speeds. I woke up in the ICU, intubated, hands tied with a neck collar. They would untie my hand and I would write husband, sister, Marley, and would get all the answers except for Marley. The third time that I woke up, I wrote Marley, and that is when it was decided I be told. Marley had died instantly. They told me that I would be recovering for 10 months. I told them they were wrong. I was wrong, but so were they. 3 months after the collision, I stood up for the very first time. 4 months after the collision, I wheeled myself out of those hospital doors and was no longer an inpatient. I could walk 200 feet. I implemented everything I knew about how the body heals in motion, what foods increase body pain, and other hands-on and machine modalities. Holding down the couch was not enough because I would never go back to massage therapy. So I re-educated as a board-certified hormonal coach. I have my certification in life and health coaching as well, but I also became board certified as a drugless practitioner. I then learned about DNA testing for customized supplements made for you. And now I offer this together in my programs because it takes the guesswork out of what you should be taking. I don't stay in my grief. I don't stay in my trauma. She's actually the driving force, as well as my two other girls, Summer and River. I know in this training that hormones affect how the brain works. I also know that chronic pain creates gray matter loss in the brain. All of those that have disease, that have pain because of injury or disease, the longer we're in pain, the more gray matter we will lose. What are you telling your body? How are you talking to your body? Are you listening to your body? And do you know what your body is saying? We change your chronic pain. And we do this by looking at your body as a whole. Hormones affect pain. Hormones affect the brain, and vice versa. 75% of studies are done on men. Pain is felt more when estrogen rapidly falls, and men when testosterone drops. Studies have shown that when there is a brain injury, so PTSD, impact, concussion, it affects our hormone production. It creates hormone imbalance. We also know that hormone imbalance mimics brain injury. So all these women that are going through menopause, all these women that feel like they're going out of their minds, that they're crazy, that they can't remember anything, that they're not sleeping, or they feel like they're sleeping too much, you're not crazy, but we can fix this. So blood test versus dried urine. A blood test is a snapshot of time. Dried urine is comprehensive. This is why I do DNA testing as well. Because if we're not custom making your supplements and if we're not actually getting gene activation and waking them up so that they actually do their job and can use the nutrients that you're putting into your body, then you're going to hit a brick wall and you're not going to get any results. I've had so many clients reduce the amount of medications that they're on when they follow my programs, whether it's because of chronic pain or disease. My urine testing, right from page 1, I can see how your estrogens are working, I can see how your liver is working, and I can see how your colon is working. You can have the most perfect colon, but if your liver is not working, then we can treat the colon all we want and it won't help you. This is why I test, I don't guess. So connecting the two, DNA testing and urine testing. Made for you supplements takes the guesswork out. You're no longer guessing what you need. It's 90 days to cellular health, and short term is key. In the first 4 days, we actually figure out what proteins you do best on. Week one, prepping your life for success. It's not food prep. The next week is a specific foods to calm the inflammation in the body because when the body is on fire inside, it is not going to decrease pain and it's not going to help you clear the brain fog. So let's put out the fires that are in the body. And then we have to do a reintroduction. This implements what you learned into your daily nourishment. By then, we have your urine and DNA results, and we see things that we're already doing so that we can actually laser on systems that still need support. This helps you create life sustaining beliefs and habits. Julie was just like you, borderline liver disease, borderline cardiac disease, borderline diabetic, considered almost morbidly obese. In 6 months, her liver went down 16 points. She was no longer at risk for cardiac disease, and she was no longer considered morbidly obese. Her energy levels increased substantially, and she could actually go outside, enjoy the day without swelling like a balloon. She could go for walks and do the treadmill and the stairmaster and do yoga without her joints feeling like they were on fire for 3 days afterwards. I am Jody Hardy from Elements of Wellness, and I am here to serve you. Nothing is permanent. Whether you have a diagnosis, whether you have chronic pain, there is hope. Book your consult with me. It's 20 minutes. It's free. And this is not a sales call. This actually tells me your biggest problem so that I can actually get you traction. That's all it takes to start changing the trajectory of your life.
Hello, everyone. I am honored to speak at the She Rises Summit today. The theme of empowering the present is very closely to my heart and is aligned to the work and mission that I do. My name is Joanne Soto, and I am a licensed professional counselor as well as Christian coach based in Connecticut. For the last 8 years, I have been helping many professional women to navigate their life transition and also manage stress while balancing multiple roles in their life. My mission is to help women to take ownership of their mental health, to grow, to thrive without sacrificing their peace. By embracing the present moment, we unlock our full potential and overcome the barriers that limit our success and happiness. Today, I would like to discuss how we can empower ourselves in the present to create the future we desire, starting with the small intentional steps. Let's dive in. Empowerment begins right here in the present moment. So often we tell ourselves we feel empowered once certain things aligns, once we are healthier, once schedule clear, or once we have more time for ourselves. But the truth is, empowerment isn't something that happens later. It's something we choose today. I remind my clients that the path to empowerment starts with accepting our current life situations without judgment. Whether you are dealing with illness, caregiving, or demands of your career, empowerment is about recognizing your worth, values right now, even amidst life chaos. You don't need to be perfect to be empowered. You are enough just as you are, and you can make changes today to move forward. Let's talk about how to make this empowerment practical when life feels overwhelming. There are three different ways we can empower ourselves in the present. First, we could practice self compassion. You can pour from an empty cup. When you're caring for others, it's easy to forget our own needs. But self compassion is essential for staying grounded. I encourage my clients to take moments each day to honor themselves, whether that's setting boundaries or simply acknowledging their feelings without guilt. Number two, focus on the small, intentional steps. The second solution is focusing on small, manageable steps. When life feels overwhelming, the idea of making big changes can be paralyzing. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on small actions that align with your values. If you are managing health challenges, your goal might not be to feel 100% okay every day. Your goal might be more about looking for supportive family or friends, taking a walk, or having a conversation with someone you trust. And number three, lean into your faith and trust in God's plans. It's very important that we recognize the strength we draw from our faith. In my work, I remind women that no matter the obstacles, God plans for you is steadfast. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us that God's plans are filled with hope and future. Trusting in His plan helps us move forward with purpose and confidence, even in challenging times. In conclusion, empowerment is about choosing to live fully in the present, trusting your worth, and making intentional decisions to care for yourself. Whether you are facing health challenges, juggling multiple roles, or navigating any struggle, you are strong, worthy, and capable. And most importantly, God is with you every step of the way. Through therapy and coaching, we can heal, grow, and take ownership of our stories. Thank you for your time today. If you'd like to connect or explore how therapy or coaching can support you on your journey, I love to hear from you.
Have you ever felt as if everything was going according to plan and then suddenly life threw you a curveball? Before Oprah became a global icon, she faced what looked like a career ending moment. Early, she landed a job as a news anchor in Baltimore. A huge opportunity for anybody, but especially she felt that it was a great opportunity. But there was a problem. She was too emotional, she was too compassionate, she connected with stories in a way that was not how the news felt that was allowed. And soon she was fired. Imagine that. Oprah Winfrey being told that she was not good enough for TV. But instead of seeing that as the end of her career, she pivoted. She took a job in a very low rated daytime talk show that nobody felt was going anywhere. But here is the thing, they gave her the space and the freedom to be herself. And within a few years, that very low rated talk show turned into the Oprah Winfrey Show, the most successful talk show in history. Oprah's biggest career failure was actually her greatest opportunity because instead of seeing herself as a failure, she created her own success. That's the power of agility, reinvention, and owning the pivot. I am Dr. Ara Gonzalez, speaker, author, and transformational expert, and I help women master change. Today, I will show you how you can pivot with purpose. As leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries, we don't just face change, we live in it. The question is not if we'll need to pivot, but how do we do it? The most successful leaders aren't the ones who have everything figured out. They are the ones who master the art of the pivot, the ones that develop what I call pivotability. Pivotability is your ability to shift without falling apart because a strong core keeps you steady. Why does pivotability matter? Because the world is shifting fast. Industries, technology, leadership styles, everything you can think of is changing. And those who resist change are stay behind. Those who embrace change thrive. So why is it so difficult for many leaders to embrace change and develop pivotability? Well, it's because a huge blocker, and that big blocker is fear. Fear of failure, fear of what people will think, and especially fear of the unknown. People don't like the unknown. But here is the thing. Every pivot starts with uncertainty, and every renewal requires to step out resisting change into the unknown. Ask yourself, what can I learn your mind from this and reframe failure? Number two, build a strong network. As undiscovered potential. That you are the average of the 5 people what you spend more time with into new beginnings. Who is in your Here are 3 quick strategies for developing with growth-minded people. Number 1, create a pivot team, mentors, never stop learning. Even challenges change that can the learners, not the know-it-alls. Look around. Most successful leaders are the ones who never stop evolving. They stay ahead by staying positive and adaptable, because that's the only way to learn, upgrade yourself, and to grow. Number 3, trust and continue to develop your own resilience. You have navigated change before and you have survived. You can do it again. Maybe you need to look at your past and remember other times when you have successfully pivoted. What helped you? You can do it again. When I was 20 years old, I came to the United States on a student visa to start college. My biggest challenge was that at the time, I didn't know a word of English, 0. That was a big pivot. I was afraid I would never be able to understand what was going around me, and much less being able to pass my classes. But by the end of the school year, I could understand most of what, well, not most, but I would say probably 60% of what was going on around me. And I passed all my classes. I made friends. And yes, I still have an accent, but you know what? My accent reminds me that if I was able to survive that huge, big challenge, what if you could see it as an invitation to face anything into your best. What is one time that you thought you could not make it, but you did? It's not just a skill set, reminder. It is a that mindset. You can pivot again. The leader who thrives are not the ones who prevent or never face change. They are the ones who dance with change. So when the next shift comes, and it will, don't resist it. Own it. Lean into it and pivot with purpose. So I have a how-to guide on how you can turn endings into new beginnings, and I call it Develop Pivotability Toolkit. You can ask for it and receive it for free. And the link is adagonzalez.thrivecart.com/develop-pivotability-toolkit. I wish you many happy dances with change.
Hi, my name is Melissa Cruz, and I am a real estate business coach, a speaker, an author, and a mom of 2. I work with real estate moms to overcome their limiting beliefs so they can authentically build their life and business on their own terms, without the guilt. I am here to talk to you today about personal growth and mindset. I chose this topic because since starting my own business, it is the one area that has proven to be the most important role in my success. I started my business back in 2016, and let me tell you, it has been the most rewarding and the most difficult thing I've ever done. It's easy to feel confident when things are going well, but the real test comes when your life throws you curveballs, like we know life does. In my case, my mindset was challenged more than I ever could have imagined. I remember telling myself things that, frankly, I would never say to anyone else. And yet, I said them to myself. My biggest enemy wasn't the world around me. It was my thoughts. It was my thoughts that I was entertaining in my own head. Making the decision to commit to my own growth, to truly develop my mindset, was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Not just for me, but for my children and the women that I am honored to serve. You might be in a season of your life right now where you feel overwhelmed. Maybe it's balancing family responsibilities, navigating a male-dominated industry, or constantly feeling like you're not enough. But here's the truth. Mindset is the key to overcoming these barriers. How we choose to think in the face of adversity shapes everything. Now, let me be real. I am in the height of a challenge right now. I've been through tough years in real estate, moving my family across the country, and rebuilding my business in a place where coaching is often considered a luxury. But I am not letting this story end in failure. The mindset shift I have embraced, is what's helping me push forward. And that's what I want to share with you today. So let's talk about mindset. It's not just some abstract concept. It is the lens through which we see our world, and it directly impacts how we handle every situation in life. The way we think influences the choices we make, how we tackle growth, how we tackle challenges, and whether we continue pushing toward our goals or give up. Today, I want to share with you the top 5 ways mindset directly impacts personal growth and how we use it to turn challenges into stepping stones for success. 1 is having a growth mindset. We have all faced setbacks in our lives, whether in business, relationships, or even our own personal goals. But when we have a growth mindset, we see failure as an opportunity to learn, not, and I repeat, not as a reflection of our worth. The key is seeing failure as part of the journey. It is how we grow. Number 2, resilience and maintaining a positive attitude. Resilience isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about how we respond to them. It's about maintaining a positive mindset, staying grounded, and keeping the forward momentum no matter the circumstances. 3, self-belief. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from believing in our ability to learn and grow. A growth mindset fuels self-belief, even when we don't have all the answers, especially when we don't have all the answers. This belief propels us to take risks and pursue growth. 4, clarity and focus. When we align our mindset with our goals, we maintain clarity and focus. Obstacles truly do become part of our journey, and we stay grounded in our purpose and vision, making decisions that move us forward. And last but not least, collaboration. Mindset doesn't just impact us. It shapes how we interact with others as well. With a growth mindset, we approach others with empathy and understanding, fostering collaboration and building a supportive community. Mindset is not just a tool. It shapes everything from how we handle setbacks to how we achieve success. It is the difference between quitting and moving forward. And it is the key to overcoming every obstacle we face. As women, we have a unique strength within us. And when we tap into that power of mindset, we unlock the potential to achieve whatever we set our hearts and minds to. Before we end today, I want to encourage you to reflect on your own mindset. What is one area where you can shift your thinking? What limiting belief can you challenge? How can you embrace a growth mindset today? Because when you do, you will start to see the magic in your own life. And that magic, my friends, is always within you. Thank you.
Hey, Happy New Year. Congratulations on making the first best decision of 2025. Seriously, give yourself some love because this is going to be the year that changes your life. Thank you to She Rises Studios for putting together this incredible summit for us women. So much gratitude to you. My name is Megan Waite. I'm founder of Megan Waite Coaching. People call me Coach Meg. I am professionally trained in goal setting and, more importantly, goal achievement. I have been helping women just like you achieve their personal and professional goals over the last 30 years. I also run my own company, and I've grossed over 7 figures in sales in 2024 alone. I practice what I preach in order to be successful. So, whether you're thinking about starting a business, you're currently a founder of your own business, maybe you are, the studier of life. If you have a brand new startup or have a flourishing company like myself, it doesn't matter. Grab your notebook because I'm going to teach you the top 5 habits that you want to hone to maximize your profits this year. What? Am I right? Come on. We all got into business for a reason, and more than likely, it's for one of these top 3. To have control of your schedule, right? Your calendar, your time. You want your time back. You don't want a cap on the amount of money you can make. Maybe you started the business to pay some extra bills, but ultimately, it was for the cash flow. Third, you may have started your business or want to start a business to design your life the way you always dreamed you could live it. So, let's get you there. Okay, again, I'm going to teach you the top 5 habits you want to master to maximize your profits this year. The first habit is harnessing your power through personal self-care. I call it creating personal self-care movement. Would you agree? If you don't feel great, if you have a low energy, it really leads to low confidence, low action taking, and you don't meet your goals. Am I right? So this is going to be incredibly important to the success of your business. Did I mention I'm also a national board certified health and wellness coach of over 10 years? I am. I'm more than happy to help you create a personal self-care movement in your own life and show you how it will help to maximize your profits this year. Okay, so you want to develop self-care habits on a daily, weekly, monthly, and a quarterly basis. This is so important. These self-care habits will match the expansion in your business. Okay? The second habit that you're going to want to harness is a clear decision-making process. The blessing and the curse of being a woman. It's that we include emotions, or we tend to include emotions in a lot of our decisions. And oftentimes when making smart decisions, we need to remove the emotion. Okay, so if you don't have a clear decision-making process, I do have one that has worked for me, and I'm more than happy to teach it to you and share it with you. This is something you're going to want to harness this year. The third habit you want to harness is accessing what I call your go power. Your go power is made up of 7 steps to bring you from where you are to where you want to be. It's recognizing your own genius and your skill sets. It's understanding that there is an order of operation for your actions. It's using the power presence as you take action. It's knowing your outcome that you're appointed towards, not away from. It's getting clear on why achieving that outcome is important to you, and it's executing your plan and always making sure to review, revise, rinse, and repeat the Go Power method for the best goal achievement. The fourth habit that you're going to want to harness is rising up when things are falling apart, and they will. Sometime in 2025, something will unravel and you'll want to know how to get back up. No matter how messy it is, rise back up because you, my friend, are resilient. You're incredibly resourceful. And yes, you do have the resources to get this done. And I'll show you how. We are building a community together to support you. The fifth and last habit that you're going to want to really harness to be successful in 2025 is your personal rising story in your business. How do you go from where you are to bringing in maybe 5 figures, 6 figures through your business? And if you're already at 6 figures, how to take it to that 7 figures this year? We call this the rise of the entrepreneur. You rise at your own pace, right? So it's perfectly perfect wherever you're starting from. I meet you where you are at. Ladies, you got this. I know That was a ton of information. And of course, I'm not going to leave you high and dry. Come see me over at meganwaitecoaching.com, where we can review these 5 habits you want to harness to be most profitable in 2025. All right, head over to meganwaitecoaching.com, send me a message. You can grab my free ebook. And for participants of the summit only, I'm going to be gifting you the opportunity to get started with me today for $1 to make 2025 the year that you look back as you're entering 2026 and you're clinging those glasses with a tear streaming down your face. And your heart is just swelling with such pride because you did it. You made those huge strides in 2025. You just changed that trajectory of your life, not just your business, but your life, not just for yourself, but also for those around you. This is your year. All right, go ahead. Head over to meganwaitecoaching.com. I'll explain it all. Use code 2025. 2025 is your year to change your life again. meganwaitecoaching.com. Enter in code 2025 to redeem the $1 discount for my folks from the summit only. Get started with me for that $1. Can't wait to meet you ladies over there. Blessings to you in your 2025.
Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so honored to be here at the Empower Her Virtual Summit. And for those of you watching this recording later, I want you to know that I am right here with you, sharing something that could change your life. I am Hyatt, and today I want to talk about something I wish someone had told me years ago. Let me start by sharing a story, one that might sound all too familiar. Picture this. It's 4 a.m. and my alarm jolts me awake. I'm out of the door before sunrise, helping my husband set up our coffee shop at the busy bus station. Then the whirlwind begins. Getting the kids ready, doing the school run, managing another cafe, making deliveries, cooking family meals. And twice a week, I am ending my day in a college classroom, trying to build something better for myself. I thought I was crushing it, being everything to everyone. Supermom, devoted wife, business owner, student. But the truth, I was burning out completely. My body quit on me before I could admit to myself that I was running on empty. That breakdown, though, it turned out to be my breakthrough. You see, I didn't just lose myself in the sacrifices I made. I found my true worth. And that's what I want to share with you today. Because I know some of you are sitting there right now, juggling everything, thinking that that's just how it has to be. Let me tell you that's not true. First, let's talk about what this constant sacrificing costs us. I know this because I lived it. When I was 12, I dreamed of becoming a doctor. But my mother, who couldn't read or write, told me that a doctor was beyond my reach. Becoming a teacher would be a huge step for our family. So I adjusted my dreams. After getting married, I started studying to become a nurse. But halfway through the year, my husband's jealousy put a stop to that too. I wasn't just giving up my career opportunities. I was giving away pieces of myself. And the scary part, it became so normal. I stopped even noticing. Does that sound familiar to anyone here? Here's where things shifted for me. I discovered something powerful. Your energy creates your reality. I know, yeah, it sounds a little out there, right? But stay with me. Think about it. When our energy is blocked by constant people pleasing, we struggle and opportunities seem to pass us by. When we nurture our energy through self-care and boundaries, doors begin to open. Your energy is the foundation of your relationship, presence. Would you drive a car with no fuel? Of course not. So why do you or we think we can lead, support, and grow while running on empty? For me, what I found true empowerment starts with honoring my inner world, my spiritual journey. Whatever that means to you helped guide my choices. I learned that listening to my inner voice was just as crucial as speaking up in meetings. You know, the first thing I did was something so simple, it might make you laugh. I started having tea and cake by myself twice a week. Just me, my thoughts, and a slice of cake. Now, was it really about the cake? Of course not. It was about saying, my time matters. And you know what's amazing? The more I valued myself, the more others did too. Through this journey, I also discovered something profound through my faith as a Baha'i. Humanity is like a bird, and men and women are its two wings. A bird can't soar with just one strong wing, right? That's why empowerment isn't just about lifting women up while leaving men behind. We need to remember that. It's about helping everyone grow. When men feel supported to embrace their emotions and step away from toxic expectations, they become our allies in creating real change. That's how we rise together. Let me tell you about a woman I worked with recently. She felt completely invisible in her own marriage, doing everything for her husband and family. But one tiny act of self-care a day, just daily walks, became her getaway to rediscovering her worth. Today, she's running her department at work and mentoring other women. It all started with her saying, I deserve this, and her husband is now supporting her. Now, here's what I want you to do. This week, I challenge you to try something new. Pick up one thing where you usually put yourself last. Maybe it's skipping lunch to help others, or saying yes to extra work when you're already swamped. Pause and ask yourself, what would it look like if I put myself first here? Set a boundary. It could be as simple as saying, I need to take my lunch break today. Trust me, the world won't fall apart. In fact, you might just inspire someone else to do the same. And if you're ready to take this journey further, let's stay connected. Follow me on Instagram at Rapid Empowerment and sign up for my newsletter where I share tips on how to look after yourself, leadership, and living your worth. Mostly, it's more about energy and your mindset. Remember, this every time you choose yourself, you are showing others what's possible. Your worth isn't measured by how much you give up. It's measured by how brightly you allow yourself to shine. So, are you ready to take that first step? Because once you do, there's no going back to playing small. Remember that. Thank you for joining.